long time to speak. 3 minutes. And so I give you Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, and I have a response to it when we get there. Abraham, please.
From Tevye to Abraham. 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they have gave the last full measure of devotion, that we were highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Thank you, Abraham. That was very good. And of course, at the time, you have to understand that this was panned as an address. It was seen as too short, cryptic, as somewhat of bailing out from what the moment called for. Because the moment called for a long speech, rousing people, getting the rabble to hate and to do stuff, calling people to arms, and there it was. There was this wonderful, elegant speech that was short and non-bombastic and decent at the core. And so, times change. Things move on. Yes? Don't they? Mm-hmm. And the world turns, and new challenges emerge with them, and new characters come to the fore to face these challenges. And so we are tonight celebrating a character who faced those challenges. Not in the way Lincoln faced them, but, you know.
Not only the way Lincoln faced them, but
Not bad.
And so
He had a few.
we're now here in Bodega Bay, and we're faced with the character in question. And it's,
Character in question.
and so we're calling this the Bodega Bay Address. Not the Gettysburg Address, the Bodega Bay Address. So listen up, dudes. You know, I said this language is going to be elegant, and it is going to be elegant, so here we go. Why are you laughing?
Because I love you.
60 and a few, like random months ago, the Rosens brought forth on this continent a red-headed baby boy, conceived in St. John's, Newfoundland, not in Cedar Rapids. And as it turned out, became dedicated to the proposition that all men, women too actually, are created incompetent, ignorant and devoid of the power and precision of the interaction method. Now,
so true.
they named him Avram Dove, which became, just for the uninitiated, became known as Barry, anglicized Hebrew for he who creates networks and facilitators. You laugh. Barry grew up to engage in epic struggles, testing the limits of everyone's patience. splitting hairs, making distinctions where none existed. For example, problem versus solution, prevention versus intervention, intention versus attention, and blah, blah, blah. Over time, he even came to worry, in public, mind you, if any nation, this nation or any nation, or community, organization, or schlepped outfit, teeming with people so untutored and so undisciplined in the fundamentals of the interaction method could long endure. Now, we've come to a moment of truth, the 60th birthday, which is a time in Barry's tradition when you're supposed to get it. What do you think? Does anybody here seriously think this is a time? Oh no, a time when he and all his friends must cease to make excuses for him. Must stop claiming that he will grow out of these obsessions. So, we are gathered here at a great crossroads. This wonderful, unbelievable nature spot called Bodega Bay to settle a few critical issues once and for all. Some of us have come from halfway around the goddamn world. Not for a frivolous reason, but to get our licks in. For it's not every day you get someone of Avram's cunning in such a vulnerable position. Cornered among, no, people he calls his friends, but we know different. Cunning when he has no choice but to grin and bear it. It is like, I don't know how to say this, but altogether proper and fitting that we should do this. For as the lady said in Chicago, he had it coming.
Fight.
But in a larger sense, we know that whatever we say here, it will never, ever be fully up to the atonement, to the weal and woe, this man's single-minded pursuit of collaboration has created in the world. Rest assured that even the most direct collective feedback we could give, he will still insist that all we need is a bit more rigor in the problem space. And that all will be well. Let's not delude ourselves that anything we say here matters to Barry or anyone else. The world does not give a rat's patootie what we say here, but you can bet your bottom dollar that it will never forget that Barry was here. Oh yes, it's always about Barry. Never mind the thousands of SAs and CAs and TAs and AAs and all the people who slaved and begged for certification over the decades. Never mind that they were always told to, what? Keep trying, keep applying, keep plugging. Perhaps someday the sun will shine on your back door. Their FL checklist completed. Little did these huddled masses know that they were mostly doomed to be unfinished work, forever petitioning for Avram's tender mercies. But now the journey is over. It's over. We are here to face the great task remaining before us. Those who worn their fingers to athletic talents in futile pursuit of the magic markers and masking tape, soon to be free to use what? Whiteboards. Even computers.
No!
Oh,
That we take their liberation as a sacred task. A sacred task. And I can find my place here, it will be even more sacred. And point out to them that Barry can no longer harm them. So his ghost may prowl the corridors and still zoom in on their meeting rooms of the world. They are at liberty to give the last full measure of their devotion to whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Hallelujah, brother.
It's like we're here to resolve all these things that the poor devils could never master the art of facilitation in the first place, and shall not forever think of themselves as flawed and hopeless, as he endowed them. Now, and so, we resolve that a new vision may spring from the ashes of this tragedy. One where preventions will forever be ignored and interventions will be a felony. Interventions will be a felony. Where agreements are a farce and no one nitpicks whether it's a circle or an arrow, which direction is facing, or whether the paper is hung this way or that, whether the outcome is desired or despised, whether the agenda is flexible or rigid, whether ground rules are any different than thumb screws. No one will ever hear of pathways to action again in this world we're envisioning, and they're blissfully unaware of why they're all fighting and petting. But, hey, it's not for us to help them or empower them to pursue their more noble aspirations. Why do we give a damn? Rather, it is for us to take them for whatever the mark will bear. And resolve that no good deed will ever go unpunished. We further resolve that this nation shall remain blissfully ignorant of Barry's ludicrous vision and lifelong commitment that we can all let go of Margaret Mead's silly idea that a small group of people committed can make a difference in the world or do anything worthwhile. For we all know that it is much more satisfying to sit and curse the dark than to light a candle. Think about it, folks. No desired outcomes, no agenda, no nothing. Just you, alone, in the dark.